The amount of times I recorded this, re-recorded this, went through it, tried to edit it. So ultimately I'm back because I'm not giving up on this idea. I need to do this because it's about time someone does it. I feel like people, I don't know, I haven't seen any videos, so I'll do it. Cue the intro. Hi guys, it's Genealogy here and welcome. Wow, did you hear that? Anyways, welcome to my channel. This is still my first video. However, I have recorded other videos prior to this because this was meant to come out a lot earlier. But life kind of got in the way and I couldn't really get around to the editing, nothing. I could not do a single thing. So this is technically a few videos later in my life that I'm recording, but it's my actual first video. I'm rambling too much. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is one that is, well, right now it's a bit of a hot topic. It has been for the past month. Not just the past month, to be fair. This is just a general hot topic in K-pop to begin with, and it's YG and the relationship that they have with girl groups. The idea of this came to me because obviously Babymonster, well, now they've debuted, and I did react to Batter Up. Now it's been a couple of days since it's been out and I've sat on it, thought about it, mulled over it. I've formed some opinions further than the one that I did in my initial reaction. I will be posting the initial reaction as well because it's the initial reaction. I want to do a bunch of different reaction videos on this channel. But anyways, we're just gonna get into it. I will be, instead of the initial plan that I had for this video, which was just talk about everything about Babymonster that was going on pre-debut, I now have the post-debut things going on. So I guess it's a good thing that this was postponed a little and now I have more material to put. But initially this video was like 55 minutes long and I thought, girl, for your first video, no one's gonna watch. Because I did it without a face cam. So I decided I'm gonna do the entire thing with a face cam, so that I would keep it more concise. Anyways, if you like this video, please make sure to leave a like, comment down below any ideas, your opinions that I'm going to be talking about, what you think about the things that I said, and further things that you will want to share with me. Please let them down in the comments below and hit the ring thing, please, so you will be notified the next time a video comes up, or in the future more videos that are going to be coming up. I have so many different ideas. I'm so excited about this channel, so excited to share everything with you guys. Now without further ado, let's get into the first portion of YG and, well, YG versus girl groups, a small video essay. Go up to the sky. So the first girl group that debuted in YG, I have this, by the way, notebook and I have taken notes, so we will be getting into it. The first girl group that debuted under YG was actually the girl group called Swi-T. They debuted in 2002 with their song called I'll Be There. It's actually bop. I've checked it out. I will be. Yeah. And it's a bop. It is a bop. This was their first ever girl group that they had debuted, and it was a three-girl group three-membered girl group members including Nayoung, Eunju, and Mihyun. And initially when they debuted, people were like, oh my gosh, they're copying TLC, they look too much like TLC, they sound too much like TLC. And they kind of did, but then again, it was the early 2000s. Everyone looked like each other. So it's not like a surprising thing that they had similarities and stuff, but regardless, people were not really vibing with them and they weren't doing that well. It wasn't a successful debut and they disbanded in 2 years with no activities. They've only released the one song in a small mini album. And that was it. That was their entire career. They were active for 2 years, but they weren't even active in the 2 years. They just vanished. Apparently, according to YG, the reason why the group wasn't active anymore was because member Nayeon had moved to the US and member Miyeon had family issues. But the lore runs deep with this group. Other than the reason that they are actually YG's first girl group, this group is a bit of a special one for YG himself. So member Eunju is actually YG's wife. Now, I'm gonna get into that a little deeper because this is it's really messed up. So basically, YG had fallen in love with the member Eunju and he was like, oh my god, I found the woman of my dreams. Now the said woman of his dreams is 12 years his junior, and when they met she was 20 and he was 32. It gets worse. It gets worse because they actually met when she was 16 years old. And he was, Yang Hyun-suk himself was 27. Isn't that just wonderful? Don't you just love that? Now prior to it I keep telling you it gets worse because prior to that he had seen her on a TV program when she was 14, 13, and he saw her on TV and he was like, wow, look at this child. Literally, that's literally what he said. He saw her on TV and he was like, wow, look at this child. And he liked her from back when she was 13 years old. And when she was 13, he was 25. Now on top of that, this man said that he didn't want to put any effort into promoting this group because he was scared that they would become successful and he would lose his chance of being with Eunju. That's fun. That's really fun. That is. So basically YG's first girl group. All of his girl groups have gone through so many things because of his own selfish things. But this one particularly was very personal to him because, and I quote, he saw her and he said that she was small, cute, and one of the youngest members. The second youngest member. That's why she was his type. God. So clearly right off the bat, YG girl groups were destined to have some form of trouble. Now before I get into my queens, I just want to say there were 2 other girl groups under YG that had debuted. However, they weren't actually technically under YG, they were in sub-labels under YG. So I'm not gonna get into the other 2. But just know that they did exist. and I acknowledge their existence. But I'm not gonna get into them in this video because they're sub-labels. It's directly related to companies under YG Entertainment. Without further ado, I'm gonna get into the queens. Oh, this is so personal to me. This is personal to me, but not in the creepy way that TLC that Swi-T was to YG. 21. If you've been into K-pop even for a little while, especially these days, you know that 21, you've probably heard of 21. And if you've not heard of 21, you've heard of this song. And you know that they were, if they have this pop, obviously they were doing pretty well. So the members of 21 included members CL, Bom, Dara, and Minzy. 21 debuted in 2009 with the leading single Fire, which is fire. It's been a long time coming. So prior to debut, 21 had actually been part of a song with label mates Big Bang, and the song was titled Lollipop. It was a moment. It was a whole thing. It was a fun little track, and we love that. So they had a pre-debut release before they, why do I have to make sure that you guys know it was before debut, pre-debut before? So they wanted to, I don't know what they wanted to do, but it was a really fun song, and it's a cute little collab. And Big Bang and 21 moments will always be special and precious. And 21 were honestly doing super well. Like, they were one of the girl groups of their generation, because if you think about it, second gen, we had SNSD. I was gonna call SNSD CLC, but then my brain was like, no, wrong. That's not right. We had Girls' Generation. We had Wonder Girls. We had 4 Minute. So many iconic groups. But most of the songs that came out in that generation, they were really cutesy, or not even cutesy, I would say. They were very general public friendly. Meanwhile, 21 looked the way they did. 21 had like yearly comebacks, and they did really well. They were so well known. They had tried to break into the Western market by, I think there was a collab album with will.i.am, but that was never released. So that's suspicious. But are we surprised, really? But they had a lot of success. They were doing so well. Artist of the Year, Song of the Year, so many awards, so much recognition. And then came, was it 2013? Editor me will put the actual time here. And basically, Bom's scandal. If you don't know of Bom's scandal, it was basically Bom. She was raised in the US, like she grew up in the US, and she was prescribed some anti-anxiety medication. But the anti-anxiety medication was illegal or wasn't distributed in South Korea, so she would always get them from her family. They would send it over to her from the US. Now the information got leaked and people found out about it, and now they were calling her a drug because she was taking medication that was not available in that country. Now this is a little personal for me because I'm also taking medication for my anxiety, and the medication that I need to take doesn't anymore exist in the country that I live in, but it does back home. So I also need my family to send over medication. Now imagine, I'm just picturing what we're going through. That's insane. Imagine someone just calling me a drug abuse. The fact that my medication doesn't exist in this country. That's insanity. That is insane. And I can only imagine the absolute scrutiny she was put through. And she was put through a lot. People said the nastiest things to her, to the point that there was nothing on her end. Not a single word from her.
Bombastic side eye.
Absolutely nothing was said. She was absent. And during the time of her absence, the other members had ventured into their solo stuff. CL debuted with the absolute banger that is Hello Bitches. And Dara was I think she was on I think she started acting back then, and then she was on different variety shows and stuff, and Minzy was dancing. So basically, all of the other members were active except Bomb, because she was put through so much. People were saying anything that they could think of to her. And the worst part was that YG did nothing for her. And I mean nothing. Nothing from the company. So then there was zero to no activity from the group. They were absent. And then came the iconic, the legendary 2015 Mama. Stage was actually the last stage that we got to see, well, back then of course, the last stage that we got to see all four members together on the same stage, because months after that, the company released a statement saying that member Minzy would be leaving the group. And then in 2017, early 2017, 21 released the song Goodbye, which pretty self-explanatory. It was their disbandment song. I think it was technically a song, like a letter from CL to Minzy, and they released it as their last track ever as a group. Of course, it was just the three members, Dara, CL, and Bum on the track, but that was the last song ever that we got from 21. 21 did reunite in Coachella 2022. Yeah. Again, the same way that they did Mama. They showed up, they did their thing, and it was beautiful, it was monumental, it was so much fun to see them again. Boom, boom, chocolate, go up to the sky. 2016. And YG had announced that they would be debuting a shiny new girl group, and this girl group was going to be the prettier version of 21, because YG for some reason thought that he could just outright go ahead and call the 21 members ugly to their faces on multiple occasions. Best CEO. Such good manners from a CEO, if you ask me. Prior to 2016, of course, we had a trainee from YG appearing in G-Dragon's music videos featuring on his songs. Also another one. They were just out here. Who were they? Members of the new girl? Oh. Pink Punk, no. BLACKPINK. They were initially meant to be Pink Punk. They were meant to have 9 members. Some of the members you may now know in other groups. But the final lineup for BLACKPINK turned out to be 4 members instead of the initial 9 that they had planned for them.
I was surprised that there were 4 members only. Is this like a surprising thing?
Now, before I get into the BLACKPINK section of the video further, little disclaimer. I am going to be criticizing things, and if this was a couple years ago, most of my criticism would have been towards the company, but now, unfortunately, we've reached a point where I will also be criticizing the members themselves. Before you come at me and go,
Oh my god, but in this army, can't you take any opportunity to help one fan and hate on them?
BLACKPINK is my first official K-pop group. Okay, I am a Blink through and through. I love these women with everything in my heart. I love them to bits and pieces. But just because I love them doesn't mean I'm not going to be criticizing them. We love our friends, we love our family, but does that mean that we're not going to be criticizing them? No. If anything, when you love someone, you can criticize them in a much better manner than a stranger would. So it's the same sentiment. I've been in the fandom for so many years now, and I've been there and I've been following them through their journey, and I know this, and I don't know them obviously, but I know the BLACKPINK that we see in the media. And I'm gonna be criticizing them because stop putting your idols on a pedestal. They're humans, just like the rest of us. Criticism is valid. Now, the people were really excited when BLACKPINK had debuted because they were like, oh, wow, newer, shinier 21, prettier 21, exciting. So people were really excited about the releases, and I will say Whistle, still one of their best songs. It's insane that their debut song is one of their best songs. And that's BLACKPINK for you. BLACKPINK's debut there was so much hype around it, and they delivered. They definitely delivered. The songs were good, the members were so talented, they were so charismatic, they were performing like rentals do, and the girls were pretty, they were so sweet, so everyone was like, yay, this is great, we love this. And then later on they had their comeback with Stay and Playing with Fire, which Playing with Fire is their best song. I said what I said. In their entire discography, Playing with Fire is their best song to exist, and I wish they had more songs in that realm. But you know, with time, people were like, are BLACKPINK getting like reject 21 songs? So you know, there was a little bit of controversy there. People were like, the songs are sounding a little too much like 21, like they sound a little too much like 21. Like 21 would make them cute, not cute, but like make them daintier, I would say. So, you know, people were side-eyeing they were side-eyeing YG a little bit. They were like, The fun part of BLACKPINK is comebacks. So they had their first comeback 2016 right after debut, and people were like excited. They were like, oh, okay, we're getting another single album. This is fun. This is really reviving. Apparently they're having good comebacks. Radio silence. Pure radio silence after that. Nothing was going on. Even the girls themselves, they couldn't say anything. There's that one Jenny V Live.
A lot of you guys are asking for a comeback. It's hard to ignore because it hurts my feelings just to read them and just ignore. I'm not ignoring, guys, it's just that we are not too sure. So since I can't give you an proper answer for your question regarding the comeback thing, I'm just gonna have to pretend I didn't see them.
So clearly there was nothing going on, and people were getting worried, they were getting concerned. They were like, where is BLACKPINK? What is happening? Is YG gonna, or what is he doing? Is he sabotaging them? And well, had it been any other company, it would have been a sabotage, but this was YG. They had their ways of managing BLACKPINK. And then came As If It's It. And they had their second comeback with As If It's Your Last. And that was cute, that was nice, we were loving it. But then right after that, radio silence again. Absolutely nothing. And then 2018, they hit us. They I will see myself out. 2018, they came out with their first mini album, Square Up, and they released and girl, it blew up. Back then I was not a K-pop stan. When D4 was released, I wasn't a K-pop stan, but even I, as a person who back then lived under a rock, had heard that song. When I got into BLACKPINK and I heard that song for the first time, I was like, oh, that's them? What? So, hello? D4 was actually when BLACKPINK broke into the Western market. They started promoting in the US, they started showing up, and it was really fun. And it was nice. It was a really good comeback for them. It literally gave them recognition. And also that was when K-pop as a whole was getting recognition. BTS, Fake Love, you know, that time. So that was a really monumental time for BLACKPINK. And you know what YG decided to do with that? Give Jennie her solo debut. Now, this is when the whole Jennie is lazy scandal started. Now that we know it as a fact that Jennie had actually had a ankle injury. So, you know, obviously you would not be able to perform nowadays. Thankfully, companies, when their members of the groups get any injuries, they either make them sit down and not perform, or they just, you know, they're either sitting on the side doing their thing, just doing their lines, watching the other members dance and cry on the inside, or they just take a little hiatus until they recover. However, because I would say BLACKPINK is 4 members, there isn't that many members to begin with, so I guess the absence of one member would, you know, it wouldn't do well for their image. But the Jennie scandal did worse than any hiatus could have, because to this day people are bashing her for being lazy, which, when I get into the 2022 portion of this, we will be talking about it. But it was definitely Jennie was at that point the villain of K-pop. And right after Solo, her rumors with Kang came out, so it was just a good old time. So much was going on. It was this woman will never catch a break. Jennie will never catch a break. I swear to God. people are so far up her. Instead of addressing anything, giving out any statements, YG decided that let's give Jennie, the most hated member of the group, a solo debut, because why not? Now, Solo is a very iconic song. I would like to actually do a video on all of Blackpink's solo songs, because now that it's been almost a year since Jisoo's Flower was released, now I think is a good time to be able to give out a little video, something. Have a video revolving around Blackpink's solos. So if you would like that idea, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to do a video on their solos, because I have a lot to say on their respective solos, especially now because Jennie also has You and Me, so I would say they all have enough they have almost the same amount of music in their solo adventures that I can form opinions a bit more solidly than I would have before. So let me down below if you would want me to do something along those lines. But yeah, YG was a little bit of a mess. Now comes 2019, and this is where the whole relationship with girl groups gets spicy again. I mean, as if it wasn't already messy, but this is when the Burning Sun scandal came out. Now, if you don't know the Burning Sun scandal, actually, the Rotten Mango podcast very recently did an episode on that. If you would like to, go check it out. I will be linking it in the description below, because that podcast is where it really gets deeply into it, and I'm not going to get into Burning Sun itself deeply, because this video is not about that. This video is about YG's girl. The reason why this blew up was because there were celebrities involved. Now, the celebrities involved in the Burning Sun scandal were a former member of Big Bang Seungri and you guessed it, Yang Si-hyuk himself. Hi, it's Editing Genealogy here. I just wanted to come here and let you guys know that around this time, as I was recording, there were a lot of noises going on around me, and I was really distracted. That's why from this point onwards, if you hear me making mistakes, and just as I just literally said Yang Si-hyuk instead of Nyan Hyun-sok, just ignore them. I will obviously I will make little jokes out of them, but I was really distracted. I was really distressed because there was so much going on around me. I live above a cafe, so there was a game going on and people were cheering and stuff, and I was really annoyed by that. So, do excuse my distraction throughout the rest of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video thus far. I'm hoping for my future videos I don't have as many audio issues, and enjoy the rest. Now, the news of Seungri and YG himself, I think, came out in March. Now, K-pop companies have this habit of either having girl groups make a debut or come back around the same time, and then it's not just companies, it's a very South Korean, not just South Korean, it's media play. You guys remember that one time early when 2021 New Year's, every idol and their mother was in a bullying scandal because some governmental person had done something, and they decided to drag all the idols that they could into it. It's media play. That's just how it's done. Even in my own country, there's a lot of media play. They try to cover things up by other things. So companies clean up their messes by debuting groups or having them come back. So comes Kill This Love. Kill This Love was released in April of 2019, literally a month after, even less so I think, than YG was I need some water. So clearly things were really great at the time, and then after that, you know, Blackpink had their Coachella. 2019 was a good year for them. However, the timing of things was very suspicious and odd. And now that YG had figured out that they can like do this, they were like, ooh, comebacks when we do something wrong.
Write that down. Someone write that down. It's a great idea.
Which I will get into when we move forward. And then with the rest of Blackpink's comebacks and their you guys know. In 2020, Blackpink actually, well, no, this is when I come into the picture. This is when I officially become a K-pop stan, and this is where I follow everything. This is what I'm very aware of, events and stuff. So Blackpink have their comeback with How You Like That. Now, of course, How You Like That comeback was postponed. Because of course it was. And then after that, we had Blackpink's first ever album. After 4 years of being a group. And then they released the album, and it seemed like such a great time. It was like, oh, now they have an album, things are looking good. They had their little online concert at the end of the year. And then 2021 was not a good year to be a Blink. It was a great year to be a solo star, but it was not a good year to be a Blink. And then came 2022. Now, in 2022, every YG group was having a comeback. And I mean, every YG group was having a comeback except Blackpink. And people were getting worried. They were like, where is Blackpink? What is happening? Why is every group having a comeback except Blackpink? And then finally, they released Pink Venom. And they announced that they would be releasing their second studio album and a world tour. And this is where it gets spicy because 2022 was very weird. So Pink Venom came out. Obviously people were not pleased with it because they had waited 2 years for a song that sounds just like every other Blackpink song. Because
Are we surprised that Pink Venom sounded like every other Blackpink? Like, let's be real. Did we really expect anything different? Did we really? Why are Blinks so hopeful? I will never know why Blinks are so hopeful. They're always hoping for something. Like, at this point, just reach acceptance. Why are you still stuck in bargain? Reach acceptance. There is nothing is going to change.
And after Pink Venom, they released their album, which was called Born Pink, and such a disappointing album. The song, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go deeply into it. But then the world tour. Now the world tour is it's a very sensitive topic for Blinks. Whenever someone brings it up, they're like, hold your horses, calm down. We're not attacking your faves. First day of their world tour that was in Seoul. It was so hectic and messy. So messy. But you know, I will give them the benefit of the doubt and say they were performing a live concert after years. They had been inactive for such a long time. It's understandable to make a couple of mistakes. It's okay. Second day they did so much better. They had improved, but it was really embarrassing that there were so many people at the concert and they were doing so tragically. But hey ho, they made up for it in the last 2 days of the concert back in Seoul again. So it's forgivable. However, the rest of the tour. So throughout the tour, there were so many different clips going around. I saw all types of clips. I saw clips of them doing so well, putting everything into the performance, just being so energetic. And then there was the genre that showed well, it's the girls not putting in effort and not their energy. Again, I'm gonna give them benefit of the doubt. A lot of K-pop groups have more than 4 members. A lot of groups have more members. So if a member is feeling unwell, if something is going on, they can technically, you know, they can just skip the performance. Things will be okay. However, with BLACKPINK being 4 members only, mistakes can be seen a lot easier. If a group is 10 members, no one's gonna notice that one member making a mistake. But because BLACKPINK are 4 members, you can see that one member is standing out more than the others. And I'm not me saying that one member, I'm not mentioning any specific members. Don't take this as, oh, she's mentioning member this or member that. I'm not talking about anyone in specific. I'm just saying, even aespa has 4 members. Obviously, I would notice one of them making a mistake because there's not as many members in that group. YG was very ambitious with BLACKPINK's world. And this is where my criticism comes in. They were a little too ambitious. They put too many dates back to back of so many different countries that obviously the members would get sick. Obviously they would not put their all into it. And I'm not shaming the girls for anything. I'm not saying anything. I understand. I get it. If I were also not only traveling from one location to another constantly, but performing, going through the same routine over and over again, I would not have the same energy in every location. However, I would say the difference between BLACKPINK and every other K-pop group is that BLACKPINK make it obvious that they're tired. They can't for the life of them even try to hide how exhausted they are. At least I've seen some other groups when the members are so exhausted, but they fight with the performance. I'm not praising those members and I'm not shaming BLACKPINK. It's just facts. These are just like the facts of BLACKPINK, is that they don't even try to hide that they're like, you know, at least people paid so much money to go to BLACKPINK concerts. Their concerts were so expensive. And it felt like they weren't given the performance worthy of their money. And that makes sense. I understand why people were so upset. There were a lot of people on the other side that enjoyed BLACKPINK's concert. They went to the locations in which BLACKPINK were giving their everything. They put their all. And people had a great time, and good for them. But there was also a lot of people who didn't get the performances that they wanted because it wouldn't go. Because a lot of people were just not pleased because they thought, at least with the amount of money that they had paid, that they would do more. But I guess I don't know. But it's very unprofessional of them. It's your job. There are a lot of people who are sick, they go to their job and they pull through. And this is also BLACKPINK's job. So recently JYP said, you fake it till you make it. Something along those lines. And he said he tells that to his idols. People blew that out of proportion, by the way. But he's right in the sense that at least you're in a workplace. You're working. Pretend that things are fine. And I guess this is where my criticism for BLACKPINK themselves comes in. They weren't even trying. Not even trying. But I guess that's not here nor there. It's over now. And then contract renewal controversy. As the time of me recording this, nothing has been officially announced. Nothing has been said. I think rumors have it that Rose is the only one that has renewed. The entire group themselves have renewed with the company, so they will continue. They're pulling a Mamamoo basically. They will be under YG as BLACKPINK, but not as the separate members, and each member wants to go under a different company. Apparently YG and Jisoo are starting their own companies, but we don't know anything yet. And this is where Babymonster comes in. YG has this thing of just waiting until the very last second of the previous girl group, holding on for dear life, hanging on by a thread, and then being like, okay, we have a shiny new group. Now, Babymonster, there have been news of them debuting since 2019. People were like, oh wow, oh my god, they're debuting a new girl group, that's so fun, yay, exciting. Nothing until the very end of 2022. Now, dates are very important in this part of the video because this just holding on to this, because this is where it gets. Remember when I said YG when they did the burning something and Kill This Love, and they were like, this is a lot of that. So in December 22nd of 2022 is when Yang Si-hyo was acquitted from charges pressed against him. So that's when they were like, okay, you know, you can go now for now. And then a week after that, they announced the debut of Babymonster. Now, they didn't announce the debut itself. They were just like, here, they're coming soon, or something like that. And there was a whole teaser of Babymonster and their last evaluation that was recorded in mid-2022. And Yang Si-hyo himself was shown to be incredibly involved with this group. So we were like, oh, okay, timing, hello, which, and then they released Last Evaluation, which was Babymonster's kind of, let's say, their survival show. And then he had this whole thing, he was like,
I'm only going to be debuting 5 members.
we all knew that was a lie and he was gonna debut all members, but he just needed the hype to be around it, and he needed to create solo stands for the new group because he did the exact same thing with BLACKPINK. Solos, he loves dividing the members up in the same group and making solo stands. But then on November 8th, his acquittal of blackmail charges were vacated and he was sentenced to 6 months in prison and 1 year probation. Obviously, his charges were, this one needs to be put in, it needs to be put away. We need to just get him off the face of the earth, just away, go out, never come back. But hey ho. So November 8th, they were like, On November 10th, we finally got a teaser poster of Babymonster's debut track. So Yang Si-hyo really is using, I would say, Babymonster as a way to cover up his BS. And he's just doing that. He's now, along the way, we're gonna be seeing him do this over and over again because their literal debut revolves around this man and his nonsense life. And then the girls debuted on November 27th, which they debuted at midnight, which a lot of debuts don't happen at midnight. A lot of debuts are at 1 p.m. on a Friday. But this was midnight of a Monday, which was suspicious. Girls don't do that anymore. But I don't even know what the hell YG is doing anymore. Maybe this is a pre-album release. That's me being hopeful because he's gonna be putting these girls in a worse basement that they put BLACKPINK in. And that says a lot. So then the girls debuted, and before debuting though, there was a lot going on because turns out, remember when the members were getting announced and we were getting their little individual performance videos, we learned their ages, and everyone except one member is a minor. And the youngest member at the time was 13. There was a lot of things going on within the community because their youngest member was a literal child, 13 years old. 13. girlie, you should be at school worrying about your grades. But no. So people definitely were concerned and worried. Now, the issue of debuting minors has always existed in K-pop. Boa herself was 14 when she debuted. All of our favorite idols today all debuted when they were minors. Jungkook, Taemin, Chewie, so many idols have debuted when they were underage. However, I guess the issue is more so with the fact that at least those members, all of their older members were adults, so there was more, I guess, security for the members. But now the issue is that majority of the group is underage. The most recent example of this would be New Jeans, who, you know,
That's a whole other thing. That's a whole different story.
but people were very concerned, as they should be, that there were such young girls about to be put under the horrendous pressure of being a K-pop idol. And even, you know, there was a lot of emotional manipulation going on with the last evaluation, because now the girls genuinely thought there was going to be only 5 of them in the group. So they were concerned. They were like, oh God, we're friends. We know each other. This is awful. So putting anyone under these kinds of stresses and pressures and everything is awful. They're inhumane. But even putting minors, children, little children and teenagers under this, mind-blowing. Why would you do that? The initial drama with the group itself, like the group involving the members, not just Yang Shi-hyuk and his way of doing things and going about things with the subgroup. And then came the debut. Now, before the debut, people were noticing that one of the members of the group, called Ayan, she was missing. They were like, oh, why is she MIA? Why is she nowhere? We cannot find any footage of her from, I think, July onwards. People were concerned. They were like, is she away? Is she not gonna debut? Now, the thing with Ayan was clips of her rapping a song that had the N-word in it had gone around, and people were pissed at her. If she had apologized for it, things would have been fine. But the thing was that YG released no statements whatsoever on this. So things got really out of hand, and people were assuming that maybe she was leaving the group because of this whole thing. And then when YG announced that she would not be debuting with the group due to health issues could be mental health issues for all we know. But when they announced that, people were like, whoa, she's not debuting, is she leaving? And that is now a very interesting point, because we don't know if she is. YG have said that she will be part of the group later. She's just not going to be part of the debut. Now, not being part of the debut of a group is insane. To this day, people hate on Yeri because she did not debut with Red Velvet with Happiness. She debuted a year later. And people to this day hate her for joining the group later. So it's a very interesting move to make. Go up to the sky. Was YG versus girl groups and their lovely management of them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was a little hectic. I didn't really have much of a script. I just wanted to state facts about each of the groups and how they line up, and just the way that YG has been very negligent. It's unfortunate. I wanna even say I'm hopeful that they don't do the same to Babymonster, but ever since before their debut, it has been proven that this group is gonna be, well, they're not, YG's gonna be the hell Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, your opinions, any other events I missed out on, because chances are I have. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.